under one of the most famous buildings on Earth. There's a door that's not on any public blueprint, and if you stand close enough, you can hear something behind it, not footsteps, not water, a voice, speaking in a language nobody recognizes until you realize it's your voice. Security guards call it the dead hallway. Engineers call it a structural anomaly. And the one person who found the old key called it only one thing: the room that shouldn't exist, because it's not just hidden, it's erased. The building goes by different names in different countries. Some call it a museum, some call it a hotel, some call it a landmark you have to see once in your life. It has guided tours, gift shops, postcards, 1,000 photos per hour. But every building this old has layers, basements under basements, maintenance tunnels, rooms nobody visits, and one room nobody admits is there. It started with a mistake. A newly hired archivist, let's call her Mara, was assigned to digitize old maintenance records. Most of it was boring: plumbing, wiring, broken locks, until she saw a single line that didn't belong. Do not access lower east service corridor, door sealed. Do not discuss, no room number, no reason, no signature, just a warning. And warnings like that don't live in ordinary buildings. Mara asked a security guard about it. He didn't laugh. He didn't deny it. He just said, "Don't go down there alone." Then he pointed to a camera screen and tapped the replay timeline. "Watch what happens at 3:11 a.m., he said. The footage showed an empty hallway, no staff, no guests, no movement. Then the light above the far end flickered. Twice, and the temperature sensor on the wall dropped suddenly like a cold breath had passed through. The guard swallowed hard. "That's when it knocks," he said. Against every rule, Mara went. She used a staff elevator, then a keycard door, then a stairwell that smelled like rust and wet stone. At the end of the dead hallway, there it was, a steel door, with no handle, only weld seams, and a circular plate that looked like it used to hold a lock. And right as her phone clock hit 3:11 a.m., knock, knock, knock. Not from the hallway, from inside the door. Mara stepped back so fast she nearly fell, and then she saw something that made her blood run cold. The dust on the floor shifted outward, as if air had pushed from under the door, as if something on the other side had leaned close and exhaled. The next day, Mara searched storage. Deep in an archive drawer, she found an envelope with a single brass key inside. No barcode, no inventory tag, no record of ownership. Just one word written in faded ink: East. That night, she returned, this time with the guard watching from the camera room. She slid the key into a hidden slot beneath the circular plate. It didn't resist. It clicked like it had been waiting. Then the door did something doors aren't supposed to do. It didn't swing open. It unsealed with a soft sigh, like a vacuum releasing, and in the gap of darkness beyond, a cold draft spilled out, not musty, not moldy, cold, and clean like winter air from underground. The forbidden room wasn't big. It was too perfect. Concrete walls, but polished like stone. A single chair bolted to the floor. A desk, a reel-to-reel tape machine. And on the wall, a painted symbol that looked like a circle with a line through it. Mara moved her light across the desk. There were tapes, dozens, each one labeled in careful handwriting with dates. Some were decades old. But one label made her stop breathing. December 13th, 2025. Today, her day. She hadn't told anyone the date out loud, and yet someone in this room had prepared a tape for it. The guard over the radio said, "Don't leave it. But curiosity is a kind of hunger." Mara pressed play. At first only static, then a voice. A woman's voice, breathing like she was too close to the microphone. And then the words came through. Not a stranger's voice. Not a ghost story voice, Mara's own voice. "If you're hearing this, you opened it." "That means I didn't stop you." Mara froze. "Do not look behind you. No matter what you hear." Mara's flashlight trembled. And in the silence, something else happened. The tape machine's red recording light blinked. Even though she never hit record, Mara reached for the stop button, her finger hovered. And the tape kept talking like it knew. "It doesn't like being watched. It likes being listened to." Behind her. The whisper became clearer, not words, more like breath shaped into sound. Then the tape voice said the one line that changed everything. "This room isn't under the building. The building is built on top of this." Mara backed away from the desk, and the temperature dropped so fast her phone screen fogged from the inside. The guard's voice burst through the radio, frantic. "Get out, the hallway camera just went black." Mara ran, but the door behind her, the sealed door, began to close by itself. Not slamming, not swinging, sealing, slowly, carefully, like something wanted her to stay long enough to hear the end. And then the tape voice, still playing, said, "If you leave now, you'll forget what you saw. If you stay, you'll remember what it is." Mara lunged through the opening at the last second. The door sealed with a final soft sigh, and the hallway light flickered twice as if the room was satisfied. The next morning, Mara did what any sane person would do. She tried to prove it, but the maintenance record line was gone. The camera footage of 3:11 a.m. was corrupted, only a frozen frame of the empty hallway. Even the envelope that held the brass key wasn't in the drawer anymore. It was like the building itself had deleted the evidence. Except for one thing, Mara's phone. She had hit voice memo without thinking, and it recorded 30 seconds of sound inside the room. When she played it back, she didn't hear her breathing. She didn't hear the tape machine. She heard something else. A second voice beneath the static, speaking softly, almost kindly, and repeating one sentence over and over like a lullaby, like an instruction. "Don't tell them where we are." To this day, Mara refuses to say the building's name. She says if you name it, you make it easier to find. And sometimes when she's standing in a crowd in a completely different city, she hears it again, a low hum, not loud enough for anyone else, but loud enough for her to recognize. Like something underground is reminding her it's still there, and it's still listening. So here's the question: was that room a forgotten bunker? A Cold War experiment? A sound chamber built to hide something? Or was it something older, that the building was designed to seal away? If you have a theory, drop it in the comments. And if you want more mysteries the world can't fully explain, like and subscribe, because the next secret might be underneath a place you visited 100 times.